I just love sushi.
Well, I love Japan, period.
Those tea ceremonies.
J-Rock.
Garugamesh!
I love anime.
And manga.
And gaming.
And my anime list.
Smile, DK.
Sakura-kan ikimasu!
Oh, here, kitty, kitty. Well, mama's got some treats for you. Oh, here, kitty, kitty. Well, you can't find this taste in the zoo.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Manga Alert podcast.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Hope you enjoyed our little sponsorship that we have for this week.
Sakura-kan, which...
Sponsoring us, Sakura-kan. All right. We're really getting the big name sponsorships in for this week.
Is Sakura-kan even still a thing?
I mean, I think they are. I think they still do.
Well, if it is, it's probably not
conventions.
going ahead this year, so...
Oh, no, it's definitely canceled.
definitely not.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't heard of Sakura-kan in years.
Oh, it's actually supposed to take place a week ago.
So then it did get
shucks.
canceled.
Well, I mean, it still says here the dates didn't change, so maybe it did happen.
Dear, were you late on the email? Because, this is supposed to be before Sakura-kan. We were paid to do this.
Oh, you're right. Shit. We forgot to make a podcast last week.
Shit. All right. Consider this the Sakura-kan 2021 trailer.
Don't get your butts to Sakura-on because you might catch a virus.
Oh, that's true. Might catch
Stay
a cold.
away from Sakura-kan this year.
They might move it to Florida.
All right. Anyways, let's get all that shit out of the way. Let's drop the fucking bit. Let's just get right into it. Joining us this week, we have two great guest hosts. We have Apollo Gray, who's probably been on the podcast more than anybody. He needs to get a job. He needs to get a life because we need to get him off this podcast. All right.
I think he's the only one of us who still has his job, though.
No, I'm no longer have a job.
Well,
So then, what are you doing?
then,
I'm quarantined for 2 weeks because my dad may or may not have.
Oh, that's right. I
coronavirus.
remember you saying something about that. All right. Well, how to segue to that, I guess, would be Based Senpai is, again, on the show. Welcome him to the wonderful Manga Alert podcast. He seems to have some fans, so I guess that's why we're bringing him in on the podcast, Might as well generate that revenue.
As a pioneer of my anime list, I am here to do my job.
All right.
Yeah, I can't believe you ruined the DDR line.
Yeah, I can't believe, we're going to get fined for that. You know that, right, Base? That's coming out of your 10%. I hope you know that.
Gear told me 20.
Nah, 10.
What?
This is Manga Alert. This ain't this isn't Drama Alert. Oof. H3 podcast. All right. And also joining us, we are the main boys. We got Shrug, Gear, and myself.
Hey.
Welcome, everybody.
Man.
Today we decided to just kind of go the generic route. We're going to be talking to you just about whatever is floating our boats for this week. Some news, some cool new exciting titles that were released and announced. What our progress is in Animal Crossing.
Well, nothing has been released, but okay.
Well, yeah, something has been released. We did forget to talk about that the Clannad video game for the Nintendo Switch is going to be coming out. So that is something very exciting that I'm looking forward to talking about.
Oh, let's not forget, Jump Force is coming to Switch, baby! Let's
Hey!
go!
God,
We were gonna save that for later, but it's too hype. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
I can't contain the hype for the My Hero Academia characters that are going to be added in.
Not only did it come to Switch, but we're getting a second character pack, including Todoroki from My Hero Academia.
Heck yeah, brother. Can't wait to play as the shining star of My Hero Academia.
I thought the main character was the Shining Star.
Well, he's already...
They're all main characters.
Yeah, and he's already in Jump Force. So we're also getting characters from Yu Yu Hakusho, Bleach, JoJo, and Hunter x Hunter.
Oh.
So...
Well, Bleach makes sense since we're getting a new anime.
Yeah, no, we talked about this last time, and we're not talking about it again.
It's okay. We can keep
No
talking
more
about
Bleach.
it. I'm sure
Bleach is
everybody
banned
that's
from
watching it
manga.
actually cares.
We
No,
talk about it too much.
Bleach is not banned.
people-
The only person we blacklisted was Shrug. He's never allowed on the podcast ever again after what he did.
Yeah.
I feel
But
like
we
need to
have,
a talk real
speaking
quick
of
about that.
Bleach,
Ugh.
what about the news about Samurai 8 and Boruto collaborating
Okay, so
for a super one-off hype chapter?
Okay,
I can't wait.
Actually, this news broke earlier today that they said that the next chapter of Boruto would be a Samurai 8 crossover, but it turns out we've learned since that it's actually a mistranslation, and what's actually happening is they're just getting like a crossover piece of art or something, like a bonus page.
Oh,
that shows.
That's definitely not the
What?
dumpster fire I was looking forward to.
Yeah. I am pretty disappointed. I would have loved to see
I
a
just
crossover
would love
chapter.
to see how that would play out, because like in Dragon Ball, like they cross with what's her face, Dr. Slump, you know, and like it'd be something similar to where like Boruto gets sucked up in like a time warp or something like that, and then all of a sudden he's got like fat talking cats on mushroom clouds and samurais with robotic arms and shit. Like that would just be hype. I think that would bring Samurai 8 back to glory again if that chapter were to come out.
That would be wild.
My day is ruined and my disappointment is immeasurable.
To me, it's just weird that this is happening now. Like, why did this not happen when they were actually still trying to sell it?
My guess is that it was always planned to begin with, but it just ended up like happening where the series gets canceled, and like all the events that were planned for the series were just kind of like, so do we cancel the events too, or do we?
No, you got to remember that the COVID ended Samurai 8. And that's why we never got this collaboration.
Right. I forgot. There have been some devious minds at work here into why Samurai 8 was canceled.
You see, Kishimoto works in his studio with all of his assistants, and he didn't want any of them getting sick, so it was his own decision to end the series, to send all of them home.
Kishimoto is a very nice man. I'm glad that he made Naruto.
What a guy, you know.
I'm real.
But have you guys not heard about the whenever COVID-19 is finally over, they're gonna do a Samurai 9?
Samurai 9?
Whoa.
Is that like?
Yeah, it's gonna be the
is that
sequel
like
to Samurai 8.
9?
Whoa.
Well, I mean, it ended perfectly. That's why they ended it that way, so they could continue the story.
Where's Samurai 1 through
COVID-19 was
7?
over.
I never got to watch any of those.
Well, unfortunately, Samurai 7
No, they're
was
skipping
already
out of order. They're doing it like JoJo's parts, but they're starting at the
What
end.
what happened to
Oh
Samurai?
my fucking god! It all makes sense now. Holy shit!
What happened to Samurai 1 through 6?
What happened to COVID 1 through 18?
Well, actually, funny story. R. Kelly actually found COVID-15.
What?
What? Whoa! Hey, Apollo, this is a
podcast,
child-friendly podcast. We cannot be doing that, okay? If you do that again, we're gonna have to ban you as well. You don't want to be like Shrug, now, do you?
Yeah.
I feel like he's in the podcast, even though he's banned.
Speaking of canceled series,
No! I'm too depressed.
How about what?
We can't.
you guys don't want to talk about Mori King?
Oh, Mori King. Well,
Tiger King?
I mean,
yeah, Tiger King got canceled.
Mori King, the King Beetle.
yeah, so, for those who haven't heard the very depressing news, Zipman was canceled at Chapter 17, which means it was canceled before Volume even came out, so they had that little faith in it.
They probably didn't. That's probably
okay.
news.
Nobody
I've
cared.
actually seen people saying Zipman got canceled. I mean, that's like back page news. That's like not even relevant.
It's like something that CNN would report on, to be honest, to try and
actually
be relevant.
Something is actually notable about Zipman. It's that the sales were so low for Volume 1 that we didn't even get them, but we can predict what they were, and it like literally sold like only 1,000 copies.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
So
They already they already changed the Zipman server to the next failing series, right?
I know.
Is that a running joke, or is that...
The story behind the Zipman server is a bunch of us on the Vinland Saga server discovered that Zipman, before it even started, had a Discord server, so we all joined as a joke, and we learned that it used to be the Tokyo Shinobi Squad server, but when that got canceled, it became the Zipman server. And now it's become the Bone Collection server, which is a new series starting in a few weeks. So they just keep replacing it. It's kind of
They should have went with Mori King. It would have been canceled faster than Zipman.
I haven't even heard of Bone Collection. What's that?
Well, that hasn't started yet. There's
it's the hype before the storm, to be honest.
Basically, the next batch of Shonen Jump series, you have Mori King, which just started, you have Bone Collection, and then you have Time Paradox Ghost Rider, which sounds incredible.
That sounds like it's going to be canceled very early.
It sounds like the next big three. So
What are you talking about?
well,
Shonen Jump
maybe.
has a big three: Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, and
it's
I don't know, whatever the fuck else there is.
actually just Demon Slayer 3 times because Demon
Boruto?
Slayer.
No.
It's Demon Slayer 3 times because in other news, Demon Slayer has now passed One Piece's peak. So that's that.
Wait, so how many has it sold?
It sold 38 million copies in 2020.
Okay, but you know what?
Holy
Batman
smokes.
is still better. Okay.
No, it's not, dude. Have you seen the chart on the growth?
Have you seen
I mean,
Batman?
Demons, it's hard to
year to date.
No, it's hard to.
Have you
argue.
watched Batman? Hello?
Have I watched Batman? Pff, no.
I don't
Have-
think there's ever
Have I?
You know, My Hero Academia ripped off Batman, right? Like, you know, it stole stuff from.
No,
Batman.
it didn't.
That and Sky High.
No, I didn't. No, it didn't. Don't
That-
even. Let's not get. Let's not.
Sky High? Yeah, dude. My Hero Academia. It's like fascist.
Well,
Do you not know
Sky
that?
High is just
Dude, this
it's
is
just
the-
socialism at its finest. So you know what?
You guys just try to find the earliest adaptation of a popular series, but like, and honestly, the ones you always bring up, the later half always does better. Like Hiatus X Hiatus and Naruto, Sky High and My Hero Academia,
Naruto did not have a good ending.
Harry Potter and Mashal. It's kind of you guys
Hang
are
on, do you
ridiculous.
think Naruto the second half did better than the first half of Naruto?
How many did Naruto outsell Hiatus X Hiatus?
I don't know. Probably.
Yes, of course it did.
more
That
than
means it's
likely.
better. Thank
But it
you.
was
Well,
also
no.
twice the length. It was
That-
also
thank
twice
you.
the-
Wait, doesn't Hunter x Hunter sell like a couple of million every single time it releases? a
I
volume?
haven't remembered
Yeah.
the last time it released a volume, so I don't know. And it's not. They're not even releasing manga. They're more like light novels at this point.
Oh my god.
I know that volume 36 came out not too long ago.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter still pulls big numbers whenever
You know what?
it does
In-
come
All
out,
I'm
which
saying is,
like-
I don't want to hear any crap about Hiatus X Hiatus being better until Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece get remasters. I want to see the 2011 version of Naruto, and then we'll talk.
Oh my
Holy
God.
fuck. Okay, so
What are these takes?
there hasn't been a volume of Hunter x Hunter in Japan since October 4th of 2018. There's currently there's currently 9 chapters ready for publication.
Huh. Wait, really?
That's
They
like
keep
ready for a volume.
They keep
yeah.
re-releasing Dragon Quest, dude.
But so wait,
that's another
so
reason.
they've had enough to make a volume and they haven't yet?
Not really, because he publishes like 1 or 2 chapters maybe every 6 months.
That's not how it works at
That's
all.
generous. That's generous.
It's one.
Basically,
maybe.
Togashi's pattern for the last several years is basically come back, write enough for a volume, and then leave again.
Oh,
I
see,
mean, it's
He
better
just wants
than
that- he just wants that
Berserk
paycheck.
Cunt.
no, because Kentaro Miura is going to be coming back with another Berserk chapter coming out soon. So,
yeah, once per 12 months.
well, but at least he's dedicated. He's consistent. Like the fans know by now that he comes back, like for a couple of chapters. Hunter x Hunter, you don't know when he's coming back, like if he's even coming back
It's
at
a
all.
mystery.
He already ended the story.
There's always the announcement in Shonen Jump. They're all like, Hunter x Hunter's coming back. It's like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, but see, it's a game.
You know how
it's a
many
game
times
for
they
them.
say that? Apollo gets baited every single time.
I actually do not like Hunter x Hunter. I bought the first 18
What?
volumes
Apollo.
because
Bought the
I
first
was-
18 volumes.
I got the first 18 volumes for $40, so I decided to fuck it. I'll read the first 18, see if I like it. It's mid.
I thought you were liking it. I remember you being
Yeah,
like,
I
this is
mean,
pretty good.
the first like 6 or 7 volumes I was liking pretty well, but the further I got, I'm like, I've read this before.
What?
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 Okay, first, before we even get gear, you got to throw up that picture. Throw up the picture. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Throw it up on the screen right now, and now we can move on from this discussion.
Hold on, I'm just trying to... So, Apollo, you, like, got to York New City, and you were like, I've seen this before.
It's because he's read Naruto first. That's why he read the
Probably.
ripoff. So just let's
He
leave it
read
be.
the more successful series,
But he
Come
also
on.
read the ripoff. So whatever. Who's that one YouTuber or manga tuber? T Bry, I think is his name. He's like a obsessed Naruto fan. He reminds me of Double Four.
Honestly,
he's
okay,
a lot more calmer than that.
Yeah,
Double
honestly-
Four is a spaz.
I've seen some of his stuff. He seems honestly pretty sensible, and he can understand. Like, he'd be like, yeah, man, Samurai 8, I mean, I get it. but I still like it. But at least I get at least he
That
understands.
it's that it's
right?
bad.
He's not a
Okay.
blind fanboy.
T.
at
Bry's a
least.
pretty cool dude. He's a gigantic Kishimoto fan.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I bet he cried when Samurai 8 got canceled.
He was a little bit
Well,
disappointed.
I don't think he cried, but for Neverworld,
Who
man,
wouldn't
holy
cry?
shit,
Who
I've seen
didn't cry when
his
Samurai 8
videos.
got canceled is my question.
I know a couple
I know
people.
Base, I know Base.
I know a couple people.
I know Base cried tears of joy.
I mean,
Base had like a collage.
Anytime
ready
Demon
when Samurai 8
Slayer
was canceled.
does well, Based is ready to cry tears of joy, knowing that it beat One Piece. So,
Honestly, yeah.
well,
'Cause
One,
I
I
think
don't
he was
really. I don't need the validation for One Piece because it's losing a fan base and not attracting a new one. So that's kind of like an L in
that's
itself.
the problem with Shonen Jump series in general, is that it
No,
appeals...
I think it's just a One Piece problem. It's like a soap opera that's been on TV for 40, 50 years.
yeah.
They kill off the characters, they come back in 5 years. Like it was a make believe story. Like it.
Technically, everything that we're reading is a make-believe
Yeah, it's
story.
kind of all make believe.
I mean, are there actual
Hold
Demon
on.
Slayers?
No. When was the last time Oda actually killed a character that was a good person?
Pretty recently,
Well,
I think.
hey,
I don't
well,
wanna get into
spoilers.
but
Didn't die like in Whole Cake?
I feel like more characters have died recently than ever, but we're not gonna get into.
You guys are
spoilers.
breaking up real bad on my
Hey,
side. I don't know what's going
Apollo,
on.
just gotta roll with it. You gotta play it like it's live TV, all right?
Yeah, fill in the gap.
Just use your
This
imagination.
is like
Use
the
your
live
imagination. Just say Gears like, oh, I got fucked in the ass with a Demon Slayer volume, and then we can laugh at it, all right? And then move on to the next fucking bit.
Where are we
Alright.
going for this?
You know what?
I don't know, but I am excited for the next Food Wars volume. Aren't you guys excited?
It
You're
got
excited.
canceled. What
Huh?
You're joking, right?
You're excited to watch your favorite series burn to the ground? Damn. All right. That's.
I've known it's been canceled. I am a little sad it got canceled, but fuck
I
it.
mean, it wasn't doing good, wasn't it? Like pulling in at like the bottom of every
It-
Shonen
well, it
Jump
was-
volume.
It was doing terribly.
Food Wars had it.
I've heard from like
Go ahead.
the biggest Food Wars stands ever that like the last arc is so horrible that it just ruins the
Well,
whole
it
thing.
does.
Yeah,
And that's coming from like the top fans, which
I
is
haven't read
kind
it
of
because I've been scared too.
impressive.
What it does is
Yeah.
it ends the series. Well, no, it doesn't end the series, but like everything leads up to a point, and then like that was probably the end of the series. But it's not a logical end to the series. You know what I mean? Like that was what the ending was, and it's like, but there's still a lot. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, like do they ever even graduate the 10th
I
grade?
don't think so. Probably.
I don't really understand. Could you elaborate more, please?
Well, we don't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
This
and
is
I
not
haven't
the
read
Food
it.
Wars podcast for fuck's sakes. This is the Everything Goes podcast. We just talk about.
A caveat to Food Wars, though, it was supposed to be the ecchi manga of Shonen Jump, and then they realized, oh wait, we actually have potential, and this ex-hentai artist doesn't really need to be doing this. Let's just give him a Shonen battle manga, and then it goes on for 37
So
volumes.
Chainsaw
Well, let's
Man
move on
is the
from
next
that, then.
ecchi hentai in Shonen Jump magazine. Oh, that's another
That ain't
thing.
getting- Who's
All
gonna
right.
do? Who's gonna get that? Who's gonna do
Let's
that
take
anime?
let's
Please,
take
I'd
let's take
love
this
to know.
tangent here and just talk about the English release of Chainsaw Man Volume 1 and how
Oh no!
how beautiful that volume looks.
Oh.
Like I
I forgot about it. I didn't want to. Oh.
they were
Can we put a side by side of the French volume as well?
just put a side by
Oh, yeah,
side
the
of like every other country's released version of Chainsaw Man Volume 1 and you'll notice which one's the worst one that stands
Yeah,
out
basically,
the best.
like Chainsaw Man had a very simple logo. It was just the words Chainsaw Man. But Viz was like, "No, that's too boring," and they made like this horrible. It looks like the logo of like a children's cartoon, where it's just the letters like weirdly.
It reminds me of like a
morphed into
Nickelodeon
chainsaw.
like TV
Yeah, literally.
show.
Literally, it looks like
Haha.
like how Nickelodeon would have like custom logos, like they would have a jellyfish for SpongeBob and that stuff. It's like that basically.
It's really bad.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
it
know
just
how.
looks
I
horrible.
mean, I can only see that kids sucker in their parents to buying it for them
Yeah.
with their Shonen
yeah,
Jump
yeah, that's
logos.
another problem. Like, it looks more like a children's thing with
But-
that logo.
On a quick note to that, like I was just talking about this the other day, and like how Viz has been pretty good in terms of censorship. Like they haven't really censored a whole lot of things since like early 2000s, late like mid 2000s. Like they did some stuff with Dragon Ball, and I think they did some stuff with JoJo initially, but for the most part they've been fairly decent in terms of censorship. I think volume 6 is probably going to be the sketchy one, but at the same time, like they've done stuff like there's One Punch Man characters that like got big ass tits hanging out. They're not completely new.
Heck yeah, brother.
But they are out there.
Wait till you see the new one coming out.
Well, what I'm curious about, because like for those who don't know, like Volume 6 basically has a naked woman on the cover. I mean, like she's like covering up her unmentionables, but like I mean, it's still very clearly nudity on the front cover, and like obviously like I don't think that would be a huge deal, but like they are publishing this under the Shonen Jump brand, and like
should have just gone with
like
the signature.
Yeah, which is so confusing because like Fire Punch was also a Jump manga, and it was the same manga.
Like imagine Fire Punch being Shonen Jump logo.
What Shonen Jump series from the magazine has got a signature release?
Well, from the main magazine, I don't think anything has.
I don't think any of them.
New whatever the fuck
I'm really
the name of it
blanking
is.
out, but I know that there has definitely been a
Gigan?
signature series that was a shonen.
The new ninja manga that Base was having problems with, but still likes.
Oh, the Hell's Paradise. That's
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
also
that one's a
that's Jump,
signature.
but that's Jump Plus also, like Fire Punch was.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the seinen one.
And but it's not.
They didn't
seinen,
even license
I don't
Yuna.
think.
They
Yeah, that's the
they
thing.
didn't take up Two Love
Yeah, that's
Ru.
I'm
that's the interesting
really
thing.
glad
Like,
they didn't license Yuna.
yeah, but that's like the other thing. Like there are other more explicit series in Jump, but Viz hasn't even published them. Like Chainsaw Man is like the first one I can think of that has the Shonen Jump brand in English. That's like
I think
so
Yuna's
explicit.
been selling pretty well though here, hasn't it?
In Japan, it's selling
Well,
decent.
It's
but here
selling. It's selling
pretty
as
well.
bad as well as like ecchi series. Like
I don't want to hear it. I don't know how that series has gone on so long.
Like Shonen Jump, basically like all of their main series are action manga. Then they'll have like the romance, ecchi, and gag manga is just like a bonus, and those don't really always do as well. But they just like to have them around for variety. But yeah. That being said, Mori King doesn't stand. Mori King is gone. Like that is the quickest.
What are you
act.
talking about? That
Wait.
series is so good.
Didn't that like literally just start?
Yeah. Okay. So Mori King.
Have you read it?
Mori King
I have not.
is impressive because I think it's the quickest I've ever dropped a series. Like I got to like page 4 and I had to stop, which says a lot because
Really?
I've read some garbage.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't stop reading a manga, but like I'll finish a chapter, but I got halfway through and then I kind of skipped to the end.
all
seeing
I
what the heck
understand
happened.
it's about like this kid who gets like a pet beetle and then the beetle turns into a naked man, and that's all I understood.
He
Sounds
turns
like
into the
something-
ideal human to rule the world, essentially.
It sounds
Which is
like
this
some Beelzebub.
ripped human male, blonde hair, blue eyes, with beetle wings and like the stag horn on his head. And he's
Hell
naked,
yeah.
and it's a lot of straight comedy where the girl's like, "This isn't even supposed to be happening. What is he doing here?" And the kid's like, "Yeah, live with us, dude." And
Sounds
yeah,
like every
Sounds
every
amazing.
Japanese
That
virgin
sounds-
male's dreams.
they're trying to find a series to replace what is it, Saki-K?
Yeah,
Whatever
well that ended a while
Glasses
ago.
show is. They're trying to find something to replace that. And it's not.
I don't.
been working
Yeah, and I
so
don't
far.
think Mitama Security is gonna last either because that's been doing pretty bad. So.
How long has that been going on? Because I feel like we've talked about that a couple of times.
Mitama Security.
Like not here, but like in the chat.
Mitama Security, I think it's at like 30 something chapters. Let me check.
Okay. So like
Yeah.
half a year.
They
basically.
they go a bit easy on gag manga because they're never gonna sell as well as the action ones. But like this one has not been doing great, so it's probably on the way out.
Hey,
I'm
hope
surprised that they haven't swapped. What is that? Yokazura.
Yozakura family, yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't swapped them with Spy X Family. It's
Honestly.
almost the same exact series.
Yeah.
Except
I
it's
don't know. That's a
trash.
chapter 32. So like all of like that and Mitama, they've both like survived like the 3-volume max. So they could even make it to 4 or 5, but we'll have to see.
Isn't Mashal's supposed to be coming up soon? I can't wait to see those sales. It's
Well,
the highest rated of the new ones. in
Mashal
the
doesn't
TOC.
come out till June. They've been spacing out the new releases, so but it'll come out. Yeah, and Mashal is great.
I
Mashal's
can't
like,
wait for my Harry Potter ripoff.
but it's a
Did you guys see the link I sent in the chat?
what? No.
Kingdom is getting a manga in English?
What?
So it's called the Kingdom of the Gods, and I just found this on
what?
Viz's
Boo.
This
chat.
sounds like a canceled manga series, to be honest.
But
Kingdom of the Gods. What even is this?
from what I understand, I don't know if you've seen Kingdom on Netflix. I don't know if this is the same story.
Why it's called?
I don't think it is.
It's called the Kingdom of the Gods. Why
It's a
don't you just like
it's a
Google it
one-shot.
like a normal person?
It's based off of a novel,
Oh,
like
okay.
an actual
it's a
novel, not a
novel.
light novel.
I'm not
no.
interested.
All
No,
right.
this is a manga. This is a manga.
So, but it's a
based
manga
off of a
based off
novel.
an American novel, is what I'm seeing
No,
here.
it's a Korean novel.
So then it's not a manga. It's a manhwa.
What? I just Googled it and it says Kingdom of Gods is a fantasy novel by American writer. Come on now.
The anticipation.
The original concept is by Eun Hee Kim, story by In Won Yo, art by
Dude,
Kyun
really? It's by
Hee
them?
Sang.
Nothing's better than Apollo speaking fluent
I
Korean.
had no idea they were on the case.
I think that might have been a different one because now you have.
Regardless, is anyone
Kingdom.
actually going to buy it? Because I know I'm not.
Yeah. Why'd you even bring this up? Apollo?
I'm
Come
sure.
on, man.
I'm sure someone will. Someone in the manga community will buy it, and then everyone will jump on board. We need manga
Yeah,
influencers.
because we're losing all the good ones. I mean, I didn't see that.
I ain't heckin' buying this ever.
Who would you say is the biggest manga influencer in the manga community?
Nux Taku.
I would honestly say that my opinion holds a lot of weight and it goes the distance.
Absolutely.
So you're claiming yourself
Um,
as the biggest manga icon.
Not the I wouldn't say icon. That's kind of too pretentious. I would say that I am one of the 4 pillars that supports my anime list for sure.
The 4 pillars. So who are the other 3 that support?
Who are the other 3?
My anime lists influence spans so wide that I haven't even seen them yet, but I will come across them eventually.
You know what, Base?
Okay.
You can't leave us on a good note like that. You have to tell us.
Is it like
please.
in Love is War, how all of like the ramen kings are anonymous?
No, better yet, is it like what is that shitty ecchi manga that Base likes?
Are you talking about? No, you wouldn't be talking about Neji Haraba's manga, right? You wouldn't be talking about that one, right?
I think.
Isn't that the one where they have like tits
I think
hanging
we're
out every
talking
time
about
they
the
lift
one
weights?
where it's very non-quintessential.
Oh
and
no!
It involves quintuplets.
Stop calling
and,
it ecchi.
You
You know, it is just like the bastardization of like shonen romance.
See,
like,
no,
just,
quintessential quintuplets is actually fantastic. You're just a cunt.
What
No,
the?
I'm not.
I was talking about how heavy are the dumbbells you lift.
That's
That manga
that is no.
was terrible.
Whoa! First,
Well, see,
hold on.
Base-
First off,
Base likes reading this crap, so let's just give
No,
him the
no,
benefit of the
wh-
doubt.
Well,
Whoa,
I
whoa,
don't
whoa.
know if anybody has actually seen a panel, but 90% of it is all etchy, and it doesn't actually do anything for you.
there's like 5% Kengan Ashura, Kengan Omega references. It's in the same world. The
It,
teacher
but
is.
it's not released in America.
This
so
is
it
the
doesn't
best I
matter.
got, dude. I gotta support him somehow. He's writing 2
Yeah,
series.
you can support them by going to Manga Alert, or not Manga Alert, Kiss Manga.
I would never.
Go to Manga
Ever.
Alert.
Hey,
Whoa,
we used to be
whoa,
supported
whoa,
by
whoa.
Kiss Manga,
We
so
do
it's
not
fine.
use Kiss Manga here at this podcast.
They
alright?
dropped their sponsorship.
They
so-
dropped our sponsorship. Gear, censor all this. Censor this bit. We can't have this
How
going out.
dare you?
Ooh, but speaking of other ways to read manga, have you guys checked out Manga Moe yet?
Oh man, I pay
I'm gonna be real
every
honest.
month.
This is my hot take.
I heard.
There's no way that it's gonna die.
Oh yeah,
Is that legal?
it
that
is legal
streaming?
somehow. So, for those who don't know, Manga Moe is a new manga app where you can legally read manga. For one, it's only on iOS, so interesting.
Let's go.
Oh
And
fuck
for-
Android.
For another, it's $5 a month, which makes it more expensive than Shonen Jump.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
what a deal.
always a good sign. And their library, they say they have hundreds of manga. Most of these series are just like bottom of the barrel you've never heard of, just random,
Doo-doo.
like whatever
For
they
lack
could,
of a better
whatever
word.
licenses they could get for like 5 cents. Like but the only notable thing there, well, there's 3 notable things. Well, more like 2, but they have surprisingly Attack on Titan and Fire Force, which
Whoa.
I'm like, how did you get, like, especially Attack on Titan?
Well, it's gonna be ending soon, so that's why.
yeah, that's
It's probably
another
got
thing, like, I mean-
dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Like, we only got like 8 more chapters to go, but yeah, here you go.
Yeah, but the other thing with Attack on Titan, this isn't the only place like you can Crunchyroll and Comixology both publish Attack on Titan, and it's like those are 2 other subscription services which have way more value than this. So I don't really see the Manga Moe like surviving. So
is anyone even
Manga
still
Moe ain't worthless.
Is anyone still reading Fire Force? Because I've just heard people have been dropping it.
I've been reading Fire Force.
I have the volumes. Yeah.
Like, are you up to date though? Like, have you like read the most recent volume?
I'm missing a volume.
Like, I've heard nothing but people dropping the series because it sucks.
Yeah, I also gave up on. I really wanted to like it, but I watched like the anime and like it got halfway through. I'm like, okay, this isn't. No. Sorry.
Right now it's definitely in a part of where it's like they're just trying to set up for something bigger, and so it's pretty slow right now, and that's why I think that people are dropping it. So I
it's
get
monthly,
that.
isn't it?
It's weekly.
It's weekly.
Yep. Soul Eater was monthly, but this is weekly.
Ooh boy.
Yeah, I can definitely see why people are dropping it. I still like it though. I think
Speaking of
it's pretty
Soul Eater, everybody excited for those new
We talk about these
by
like every
Square
week.
Enix?
Let's
Calm down.
go.
We get it.
Would you shush?
I'm
We
not
have to
excited
see.
because Soul Eater is garbage.
Whoa,
Hey,
actually,
you're still.
I got the recent Square Enix manga that came out today or this week. The Dress Up Darling.
Dress
Fantastic.
Up Darling. Is that another crappy ecchi shonen?
It's actually a seinen, but it's about
Oof.
it's about cosplay. Yeah,
Shaman
this is
should know all about
dude,
those.
This is for you, dude.
That's
It's
right.
seinen.
Is it seinen?
It's lit. My anime.
How
list says
seinen
it's-
is it? Like, if we're talking like on a scale of 1 to 10, like how seinen like trope is this?
Oh, Shaman's interesting.
It's
Like,
a seinen.
are we talking like vagabond levels of like seinen action here, or like what are we talking about?
No. But you can't compare it to Vagabond. Vagabond's one of the greatest of all times. I'm just saying
It is, but how many people here haven't read it? That's my question.
It's like Vagabond with giant titties. That's about it. That's about the best I
Vagabond
can
titties.
say.
That's inappropriate.
Shaman, you would totally like this. 100%. It's right up there.
All right, so hold on. Before we move on from Manga Moe, I'd just like to say that on October 10th, what was it? Yeah, the co-founder of Manga Moe actually DM'd me on Twitter. I'm not making this up. And he basically gave me the rundown of Manga Moe because it launched in Canada apparently.
Whoa.
Like a while ago.
Holy shit, Gear! Why didn't you take the sponsorship? We could have it here on the Manga Alert podcast.
We could
We could actually have
yeah.
crowdfunding going on here.
He was basically like, as you know, Manga Rock and all other pirate sites are getting shut down. I'm like, how long's that lasted? Oh, right, there's more pirate sites now.
You know what, Gear? You fucked up. We could have had a real potential thing here.
Yeah, but they didn't like offer me anything. They just said they wanted my feedback
That's
and
just
expert
weird.
opinion.
That's just fucking weird that he would just reach out to you for no reason and just tell you about it.
But
He's probably
Doesn't make any sense.
watching, dude. Have some respect.
But here's the best
Wait,
part.
so you mean
that
to tell
wasn't
me
even...
that they didn't offer you $15
basically-
for like 20 videos?
Basically, what happened? I thought Manga Moe was fake. Like I thought it was
a
all
late April Fool's joke.
So I just ignored it. I was like, okay, this seems like a scam. So I ignored it. Anyway, in February, I got another message from the social media manager of Manga Moe, and they wanted to know if I could review some of the manga for them, and I was like, oh, I still don't think this is legit. But the funny thing is, like, their whole thing, the whole thing they're going on is like, we're here to end manga piracy. But who is pirating the series they have?
That's
Oh
a good
no,
point.
hold on. I'm looking at their available titles. They have Canvas Under the Overpass. Is that one? Hold on.
I have no.
Wait, didn't you say they have Attack on Titan? Because I'm pretty sure all of you fuckfaces.
Well, that's like the
pirate
only
Attack
one
on
though.
Titan.
But the thing about Attack on Titan is that as much as immoral as it is, the piracy culture for Attack on Titan is so bad. I don't think you can ever kill it.
Whoa! Hang
'Cause-
on, guys. Like these people are featured in the LA Times. Like these are not your average, everyday, like
Ooh.
generic people. All right, look at this I should probably link this, but LA Times has this very good non-biased article about supporting the industry. So
I forgot they have Somali in the Forest Spirit, dude.
oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was
okay.
That was the third one I mentioned.
Oh
the
no,
one
that's
that
not the one I
people
was
might
talking
care
about. There was a third, a more popular one. Which one was it?
Was there?
Yeah, which one was it though? Battle Angel Alita, that was it. There you go, Shaman. Saying it. Perfect.
I've already read it.
You gotta read it again for $10.99.
I already own the shit, and I bought it all on eBay, man. I didn't even sustain the industry.
That is toxic, dude.
Wait, I thought you said $5. Where'd the $10.99 come from?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
Oh, so shit. He's lying. This is why we don't have Based here on the podcast as much. He's a trickster. He's the jester of the manga community. He definitely has some funny bits for us all when he comes in here, you know.
Funny guy, Based.
There is something interesting about, we mentioned Attack on Titan, but it got delayed because of coronavirus this month, and I found out that's the only time that Isayama has ever taken a break in the entire run.
That is so
Oh my gosh.
admirable.
I can't
Togashi
believe,
would never.
I can't
do
believe
that.
he fucking did that. That is so fucking scummy. He needs to finish his series right
Doesn't
now.
Oda have required breaks? What a chump.
You know, let's go on Twitter
Yeah,
and
okay,
let's
hold
start
on.
the hashtag cancel Attack on Titan because he literally
Well, I
ruined
mean,
it.
it's about to end anyway, so there's not much.
Is it though? Is it gonna end? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, can you tell me without spoilers? Wait, can you tell me without spoilers? Is Promised Neverland ending next week?
Not next week, because it's going on break for a month. But that's another series that... Basically, the last chapter had, like, such a... like, conclusive ending, but you know there still needs to be an epilogue, so I'm pretty sure after it comes back from a month, there's just going to be, like, 1 or 2 more epilogue chapters.
They're gonna start
'cause
blaming
it's-
it on COVID again.
Yeah.
Dude, COVID.
Well,
COVID's a real
Yeah.
thing.
It's the series killer.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
affecting all of our mangas out there, you know?
They actually snuck a coronavirus reference in a recent Promised Neverland chapter. 'Cause
Whoa!
There was like a montage page where it was like, even if we do this, the world is still going to be a terrible place, and it shows like a bunch of pictures of like people fighting and stuff, and then there's one part where it's like in the slums of a city, and they got like the words coronavirus were spray painted onto a wall.
Damn.
So yeah.
All right, you know what?
How many volumes is it going to be? 20?
You know what?
20,
let's
yeah.
let's fucking segue this shit because I think we've been talking about manga for far too long. And even though we are the Manga Alert podcast, I think we need to segue into something a lot better than that. And I think it's time for
Dungeons
another
Dragons.
comment
Dungeons
comeback, baby. Let's go ahead and pull some of this
Wait, before we do that, can we talk about the anime getting canceled and why Gear should be thankful?
Comment comeback is a no more than a 4-minute
This
bit.
isn't
all
Anime
right?
Alert.
You know what? It'll take 2 seconds.
We'll talk about anime
Okay,
after
fine.
comment comeback. So
I'm content with that.
all right, so the first one we have here, this is when Shaman said that everyone who reads shonen romance is like sad, depressed, doesn't have a love life, has no friends,
And is a
so
virgin.
this guy just says, "Whoa, Shaman projecting pretty hard there." So what do you have to say to this?
I
Shaman,
mean,
the
apparently,
accusations
like,
of-
they don't know who I am. Like, I guess they're not a fan of my channel, or, like, they don't know who Old Shaman is. So, I mean, joke's on you, buddy. Like, you need to know who you're dealing with here. Like, you need to know what my take is, and it's obviously the superior one.
What is your take? Because you don't like quintessential quintuplets, which is the greatest romance story of the decade, probably.
You know, like, in the midst of everything else, like, why have a shonen romance series when you can actually just have, like, an IRL shonen romance? You know what I mean?
You're gonna end up reading it because it's gonna be on the top 10 list of 2020.
You know, well,
so...
eventually.
He's gonna-
eventually.
Here's the thing. Once it's OP, which out of print, for people that don't understand.
That's One Piece. Out of
and
print is
it's-
OOP.
It's hard.
Just to get it right.
Well, once it's OOP, and it's hard to get, this is going to be probably like 7 years down the road. Shaman's going to be salivating
Well, see,
for it.
if
He's probably
hang
going to
on,
pay
hang on
about
here.
$60
With
for
Base's
it, the whole thing.
logic that this series sells so well that it's
will never go out of print.
it's never going to go out of print. So therefore, I'm never going to be able to read it. So Apollo,
They're
I just
already doing
I just
colored
crushed
reprints.
your argument, and I just crushed Base's argument. This is why people need to subscribe to me, because I am the superior logic in the manga community. They just don't understand.
I actually just
You know?
don't subscribe.
For people that may not know, Shaman reads freezing. Let's just let that sink in, and then
Oh no!
Oh, bringing it up.
If you guys don't know what freezing is, it's almost as bad as you.
But it's not a manga. It's not a manga.
but it's
though.
out of print.
It's
That's
not
the kicker.
a manga. It's a manhwa. Okay.
That doesn't help your case at all.
So Based has a theory that when Shaman like turns 24, 25, he's gonna like relapse and become a hardcore shonen fan.
When
again.
Shaman turns age 24, the love of shonen is gonna blossom, and he's just gonna go all out.
He's gonna
sell
get
all
all
his seinen.
Yeah,
It's
he's
be
gonna
great.
get all nostalgic. He's gonna reread the big three. He's gonna pick up My Hero, Demon Slayer. He's gonna.
Now,
be
when you
into
say
it all.
nostalgic, in order for something to be nostalgic, you need to have something like prior to it.
No,
ever
no, no.
being that.
I
Just nostalgic for the feeling of shonen
I hopped in
hype.
right at 24, and man, the shonen. I'm talking from experience. You guys aren't even. Most of you guys aren't 24 yet. So once you guys hit 24, you'll know.
Well,
but
actually,
you just
Apollo is pretty old. He's like 20,000
Yeah, but he-
years old.
he got
But
derailed.
Apollo has the mind of a child.
Well, that is true. That is true.
He got derailed into the Uniland, but other than that,
So,
I have high
if
hopes
that's
for
the
you.
case, like, what was your like entrance into the manga world base? Like, you like started reading
Probably
just
immature.
straight garbage by your logic, apparently. So, like, you just skipped all the shonen series in favor of like seinen. What
You want a real? I actually watched the trashy, ecchi anime on Netflix after I watched Full Metal Alchemist, thinking that like, all right, this is actual anime, and then I kind of just went through everything Netflix had back in 2014.
Whoa!
So imagine.
So, are you
imagine
saying that you watched what was that anime, Kaguya-sama? Is that the one that you watched?
But that's a goated, incredible, amazing.
Yeah, that's
series.
one of the best. That's Reddit's.
Let's not talk about that.
No, that is Reddit's #1 favorite manga.
Oh,
Apollo,
shit.
what was
They're
your
wrong.
opinion on
Yeah, Apollo, do
Kaguya-sama?
you want to publicly state your opinion on
Yeah, so like
Kaguya-sama?
Kaguya-sama is
Say it.
it's a little bit less than mid, bud.
Oh,
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 Okay.
he didn't bait.
Oh.
He's not baited.
let's go
you-
on with the comments.
all right, yeah. Okay, so this is continuing the saga of Shrug telling everyone to restart One Piece at Thriller Bark. I know we all love this topic.
Could you talk up, bud? Because you're really quiet.
Oh, you're just not listening.
No, you're just talking to yourself.
You turned
What?
him down. Turn him up.
I did
Anyway.
not. Turn it back
Whoa!
up.
Anyways, go ahead.
This guy says, Shrug, I started One Piece at the beginning and it was good. How come you're saying to start at a later arc? Is Shrug a JoJo part skipper?
Oh,
Shrug.
Well,
You caught me. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just not gonna go into it. I literally talk about this every single podcast. I want to do an episode of where I don't have to talk about it.
Well,
Well, no, here's my opinion.
so that's a
JoJo's
very
Bizarre
cop-out
Adventure.
answer, though. Like, Shrug, I mean, to be honest,
I mean,
like,
wait, are you talking about the One Piece thing or the JoJo's
we're talking
thing?
about the One
Well,
Piece
th-
thing. This
they're
is what the
accusing
fucking
you
comments
of being-
about, is people are,
Yeah,
are taking your advice and reading Thriller Bark before Water 7, and they're getting so disappointed.
Okay, so you want me? Okay, so here's why I say that.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So no. Listen.
Did he
it's
actually
like,
say this?
Yeah.
No, I didn't say
Okay.
go. I never said go and start from there. And you just gotta listen, all right?
Oh,
So-
I'm all ears, buddy. Let me hear this.
So when I first started watching anime, I was watching it off of like Toonami because I didn't have any other, like, I didn't know that it was all online. So I was like, oh, I just watch that every week. Well, right when I got into it, I was watching week to week Water 7. And so I was like, I watched all of Water 7 because I looked it up and One Piece was like 1 billion episodes long. So I was like, oh, okay. Then I was like, I'll just watch through this. And then because I really liked Water 7, so then I went back and I watched it all the way through. So what happened was, it was like, when I said that, I was like, okay, you can start out small because like One Piece is really overwhelming. And so I know for a fact that people are scared to get into One Piece because of its size. And so I'm not saying, I've literally said this every single time, don't start at Thriller Bark. Please, for the love of God, do not start at Thriller Bark. But
why would you make a statement
like
that though? Who's starting at Thriller Bark?
Because I can't say that I started at Water 7, so it'd be hypocritical for me to just be like, oh yeah, I started right at the beginning. It's like because I didn't.
You are a One Piece part skipper.
To be that's just how I started out at, and then I ended up watching all the way through, and I rewatched Water 7. So that it's because I started out and I didn't know anything about One Piece at the time. I was like, what the frick is this rubber man like not being able to swim for? It's like that's just how.
Whoa,
I
hey,
started
hang on,
off
we're
with One
dropping some
Piece.
serious spoilers here. Like, no one knows that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How'd you like Dressrosa, bud?
Okay, end the fucking bit. Next comment.
I quit.
In the bit. Okay, this next comment. What do you guys think about the current One Piece arc?
Oh, well, here you go. There you go. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
It's Dressrosa.
No, hold on. I actually said in my recent video that Wano is just a flashback within a flashback, and the amount of comments I've gotten is pretty ridiculous.
Well, I think honestly a majority of that hate comes from the fact that you advocated good PPE in your manga collecting video, and you just completely missed the mark with your dirty ass.
What is that jargon?
With your dirty ass watch that you were wearing, and like probably reused your gloves for one. Like that's just no, you can't do that. Like
those were brand new.
I doubt it.
That was
no pictures, no proof. Didn't happen.
Yeah. Anyway, I liked Wano from what I read, but I haven't gotten to the longest flashback in the series yet. So
yeah, I'm waiting for just a little bit more so I don't have to read week to week. Because if we get stuck in another flashback again, that's gonna last for 30 plus chapters. I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'm not gonna want to read this.
I am caught up with One Piece, and the most recent chapter was probably the most progression it's had in the whole entire arc, which is saying something because Wano has been nothing again but flashbacks and really slow story progression. So there's finally something moving, but
you're really hammering in the
what's
plot.
the problem with One Piece lately is that it manages to take a step forward and 10 steps back. And it just can't, it's not the early series. It's not vanilla One Piece anymore, where they can just keep introducing these new themes, new topics, new characters. Everything was set in the framework of the first part of One Piece. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on getting to the end, where Oda just seems to keep adding more and more on to an already overly saturated series. And it's just getting to the point where it's like, all right, come on, keep going, and it's just not moving anywhere. So
I mean, One Piece is at the point because we know that Wano is there was a claim that it's Wano's the arc before the end.
No,
so
that's not true. That was
true?
That was proven that they've probably have at least 3 or 4 more islands to go before the end. Because they still have Elbaf to get to. They still have they still have pretty much a whole portion of the Grand Line that they haven't even explored yet.
It just comes to the point of where they talk about these islands for so long, and then we finally get there, and then like you said, it's you take 1 step forward but 10 steps back. It's okay, we've reached Wano.
Well, see, that's my point.
Now,
Elbaf was mentioned in Baroque works. That was over 80 volumes ago. That's we don't need a flashback arc of the lore of Elbaf. No one,
unless there's somebody that's joining the crew, we don't necessarily need a 30 chapter long flashback. It's we just don't need it.
I respect
This sounds like some Naruto shit.
I respect all your opinions on One Piece, but it's really hard for One Piece to succeed when it's living in the shadow of America's #1 best-selling manga, My Hero Academia, on a weekly
because
basis.
it's just an American fucking comic book. That's all it is.
All I'm saying is My Hero Academia sold 5 million English copies alone, and Dr. Stoner hasn't even sold 4 million.
Yeah, okay.
Next comment.
Next comment, and this is the last comment from our favorite #1 commenter.
Cool Kid?
Yes, cool kid.
Oh, yes.
And this is the context here. We had the April Fool's joke that the podcast was canceled. So he says, "I was almost happy to see this clear ripoff of Apollo Gray's manga support podcast finally canceled, but I guess my sacrifices only got Samurai 8 canceled instead. Shame." Now, I know everyone is excited to see Bleach back and to have the ending change, but honestly, I'm just really excited to see Apollo's channel come back. I mean, the ending was very meh, and I felt like there was a real lack of character development. Hopefully, we can see a complete journey from Apollo as a protagonist, and next time, honestly, I'm still hoping for a better romance conclusion. I get a lot of people love the Chibi Reviews love interest arc, but I have always been more interested in a Harold Apollo fan arc, whatever. I would love to hear your thoughts, though, as I know Shaman is a big fan since it is such an old series. So, Shaman, what are your thoughts on Apollo Gray's channel?
I mean, honestly, so this dates back to when I was first recording on YouTube, and I mean, maybe Base can weigh in a little bit on it, but there was a time period when MangaTube was so niche, and there was maybe 8 people in the community that actually religiously uploaded manga content, and I, of course, was not one of them, but I know that Apollo was definitely one of them. In the beginning, Apollo was one of those pillars of early MangaTube, and as his story progressed, he sort of took a hiatus from it all. He had it all. He said that he was the best, and he just threw it all away. And he did it all for D&D. So I think that the big problem with me and Apollo's story is that he had such a really great He had great framework, great start, but a horrible conclusion. Just like a lot of great shonen mangas, like My Hero Academia, they just don't know how to end a series correctly.
Did Shaman just call My Hero a great shonen manga?
I think he did.
Can we play that back?
A lot of great shonen mangas, like My Hero Academia.
I have actually remember my first interaction with Apollo about 5 years ago.
No.
I remember. Because Apollo, he was starting out. I think I had maybe 1,000 subscribers. I was still pretty, but this man sent me. He wanted me to do a tag video, but the tag video had literally 50 tags in it, and I just ignored it. I was like, I'm not doing this.
That was an era that we don't ever discuss, because
just it was a 50 tag video.
No,
I'm like,
I don't think it's ever been revived ever either since then. It's been quite a long time since anyone has done a tag video.
Dude, Gear used to do those all the time.
It has
oh my
been.
gosh.
The newbies have.
Who are the newbies? Who are exactly the newbies in the community?
I don't know. I've just been seeing some of the newer big manga tubers that's floating around do the tags, and they came from some of the new manga tubers, I guess you'd say.
For those who don't remember, back in 2016, 2017, people were tagging me and stuff every month, and I at first I was doing them, but then it eventually got so ridiculous, and there were so many of the same questions that I just started making shitpost tag videos, and then I killed it off, and I swore
I think
them
the
off
front runner of all that was,
since.
of course, Insidious Swede, because he bought into it and also was doing them, and so everyone had to do a tag video because Insidious Swede was doing them, and he, of course, was the biggest manga tuber of our time. Of course, this is past NZ Anime Manga and Code Provider, the era of
he commented
ancients.
on my tier list. Pretty recently, so he's lurking in the shadows somewhere.
Indeed. All right, well, that was Comment Comeback. Let's segue into anime, because let's get all this shit off of our chest.
Tower of God! Hey, the new big 3. It's hype.
I feel like, I don't know, I watched the trailer, I'm not impressed by the animation at all.
Oh, it's a very odd show. The actual animation is pretty decent, but the art style is really weird. It has this really rough line art to it.
It has a very distinct Gear Third manga review art style.
Ooh.
But also the directing is really weird, the pacing is really weird. A lot of people, fans of the webcomic, say that the adaptation is kind of a mess. So yeah, I don't know. From what I've read, it basically, the first episode kind of sucked. The second episode was a bit more enjoyable, and I haven't seen the third yet. But it's basically Because he can't catch a break. It's basically Hunter x Hunter again.
I honestly thought this was a bit. Gear, you actually like this crap?
No. I said the first. I said the second episode was kind of all right. Like it was basically
Yeah,
just.
but you're still watching.
This
it.
needs to
That's
do
the
good
thing.
because I need Solo Leveling to be animated, and this is the gateway
Shut
to
up
it.
about your solo leveling.
This is the gateway.
Solo
Well,
leveling.
since we're
is
talking
that
about anime, can we talk about the new Evangelion movie that's coming out?
No, because
No,
that's
that's
an
never coming
animated
out.
movie. It's
That's
not
never coming
anime.
out. It's gonna
And-
get canceled.
Yeah, it's not.
Is it?
I mean, it's supposed to come out in like June or something, so I don't think that'll
It was
happen.
supposed to come out 3 years ago.
it's
it wouldn't be
it's
surprised
definitely
if
not
it didn't
coming out
ever
June.
come out.
All these.
I was actually-
Are you guys secretly Mecha fans, hanging on to the past? You guys
I-
can't look like Darling in the Fran, or what was it? Darling in the Franks was the best thing
shut
we've
up.
gotten in the past decade, and you guys are still
That-
clinging to Neon
First
Genesis.
of all, no. Actually, Darling in the Franxx was not good.
I actually was looking at the 15-inch figure of 02, and I was almost bought it because it's a symbol of what Mecha used to be.
And what did Mecha used to be?
Base,
If it's
base, you even like any mecha?
Darling in the Franks.
if it's not Gurren Lagann, it's
I haven't
not
even
good.
watched
Am I
Gurren
right, or am I
Lagann because
right?
it's overrated.
First of all, the only mecha that's good anymore is Eureka 7. So
But that's old now.
Eureka 7 is just it's a bit. It needs to end. It just needs to stop.
And it needs to stop.
I couldn't get into that. I tried watching that show. I couldn't really.
Yeah, because it's doo-doo. How about Millionaire Detective? My God. What a
We just
show.
went. You
Canceled.
can't just segue from mech to fucking whatever the hell you're talking
He can
about.
do whatever he wants. He has the money.
Base, I don't think we should talk about this show because of how controversial the creator
Yeah, I mean,
is.
if you don't want to
Not in
talk
public.
about the Daisuke Kanabe ruling the thirst traps, that's fine. I know why you don't want to.
I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the elderly creator telling people to perform obscene acts on
Yeah.
war crime victims.
well, since we're talking about mechs, why don't we talk about the resurgence of Zoids?
No,
What's-
who
what's
is
a Zoid?
who are you talking to?
Zoid,
I'm talking to.
Zoidberg?
First of all, if you don't know what Zoids are,
I don't.
you're too young for this fucking
I'm
podcast.
older than you, I believe.
I know old Shaman knows what Zoids
What
is.
the fuck? No, I don't.
What? You don't know what
just
Zoids
Googled
is?
I just googled it, and it looks like they're Bionicle dogs. Is
Oh,
that-
I
no.
know what.
No way.
So the original Zoids came out when I was a kid,
Are these Power Rangers?
and
oh my gosh,
the
this
fact
is just
that Shaman doesn't know, but he's an advocate for old shit.
it's Voltron.
It amazes me.
No, this is
This
like
was-
Japanese toy lines.
This
No.
article
This was-
has
Oh my-
multiple issues, may contain an excessive amount of intricate detail that may interest only a particular audience. What?
Wow, they're coming in hot with
Dude.
that one.
Oh my gosh, there's like actually like a lot of different shows. This is like the Gundam of like children's mecha anime.
Yep. But the
and that's why.
original,
That's why it's bad.
No.
the original Zoids was like 1990s. But
There's
they're
Zoids Chaotic Century, Zoids New Century, Zoids Genesis, Zoids Wild, Zoids Fusers.
Yep.
There's Zoids Dinosaur King,
They're-
Zoids Digimon.
they're making a
uh,
continuation of Wild called Wild Zero, and I didn't know Zoids continued past Zoids. I had no idea. Apparently, there's 9 series.
This is. I don't think a
Alright,
single
well,
person
you know
cares.
what? I'm just gonna say
Gundam-
fucking nerd, and that is it.
Gundam Thunderbolt.
Speaking of nerdy, I've been watching
Basically
Kamen
something.
Rider. That's
Kamen Rider,
That's been
dude.
interesting.
What a fucking newbie! Like, are you telling me that you never watched original Kamen Rider? Like, I thought you were like, come on. I was born during that time. I would know.
I don't. You were not even conceived yet.
Ah,
Yep, that is the truth. It's all right. I've been enjoying it.
Are you? How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
A solid 7.5.
And who got you? Who got you into Kamen Rider?
I'm actually doing a show with someone that in the community next
Do you
month.
want to plug in this person?
This is this is your guys' show. We'll just
well, we're the number one podcast. I think they need our notoriety.
They need our help.
oh boy, let's move on.
All right. Well, we're at an hour now. Is there anything we'd like to mention before we cut it off?
Well, I think Base has something to say.
What could I possibly say to end this podcast? Well, I'm not a girl.
Organized under strict rules and regulations, Zoid battles are fighting competitions held on enormous battlefields using mechanical combat units known as Zoids. The enthusiastic young warriors put their pride on the line and sharpen their skills against one another.